The Disney Wonder is back in Australia for its second season of sailing.
I'm so excited.
After experiencing its inaugural voyage, we want to share everything you need to know before sailing on the Disney Wonder in Australia. We've got a lot to get through, so if you're looking for specific information, check the timestamps in the description to bring you to the relevant topic. The novelty of a cruise, aside from travelling on a large body of water, is that almost everything is included, which means once you're on board, you can put that credit card away and enjoy yourself. Having said that, there are plenty of optional extras that come at an additional cost, which we'll cover later in the video. But first, let's talk about what you get for free. Because chances are you paid for the cruise months in advance, and so by the time you step foot onto the ship, everything is going to feel free. Obviously, your accommodation is covered in the cost of your cruise. When we sailed, we stayed in an internal room, and whilst there were no windows, we never felt claustrophobic because we were barely in the room. The most luxurious category of accommodation you can get is concierge, and then you have veranda and ocean view. Inside the stateroom, you'll generally find a bed, a couch that can also turn into a pull-out bed, a small desk, a fridge, some hanging space, and a bathroom. But obviously, higher categories will have a larger space and more inside the room. On our cruise, we found the food and drink inclusions to be a really good value. Selected dining and quick service restaurants are included, as well as soft drinks, tea and coffee. Now the coffee is your basic non-artesian coffee, so if you're a Melbourne coffee snob like me, it might not be up to your standard. But if you aren't too picky, it's a great way to save some extra cash. And don't worry, if you're desperate for some Melbourne style coffee, I know just the place. Stay tuned. In terms of dining options, the inclusions on the Disney Wonder are fairly similar to other cruises. There's a buffet option, many quick service options, and then you've got your sit-down restaurants. Disney Cruise Line is unique in a number of ways, one being their dining experiences. The Wonder has 3 sit-down restaurants, each themed differently, making the experience more interactive and exciting. Triton's is the first of the 3 rotational dining restaurants on the Disney Wonder, and as you can probably guess, it's subtly themed after The Little Mermaid. It's the most upscale of the 3 rotational dining options, and in our opinion, the least kid-friendly, so if you have kids and want to skip your rotational dining one night and just grab a bite at some of the quick service options, this might be the night to do it. Next up is Tiana's Place, which we loved. It's a bit more kid-friendly than Triton's, but slightly fancier than the 3rd dining location, Animator's Palette. It offers live entertainment, and you'll also find Princess Tiana and Louis wandering around from table to table. At one point in the night, they'll even get everyone up for a bit of a boogie, so it was really a lot of fun. The highlight of the meal at Tiana's is of course the beignets for dessert. Hot tip! You can order as many desserts as you want, but of course try not to waste any food. The final restaurant in the Disney Wonder's rotational dining system is Animator's Palette. This one is bound to be a kid favourite, but in all honesty, we had such a fun time as well. Themed around the world of animation, the restaurant is covered in different Disney sketches. In classic Disney fashion, the theming is immaculate, with giant paintbrushes as the pillars in the restaurant, and even the butter knives are shaped like this too. Whilst the food was great, the entertainment will undoubtedly be the highlight of your night. When you sit down, you'll have a piece of paper in front of you to draw a character of your own design. Later on in the night, there'll be a show painted across the walls of the restaurant, and your art just may come to life. Hot tip! The black truffle pasta from Animator's Palette is a must-try and arguably the most popular dish on the Disney Wonder. If you're sailing for over 3 nights, you'll likely have a pirate night. Arrgh. Anyway, Pirate Night means a menu change. We were on a 4-night sailing, so we returned to Animator's Palette but purely for the seating. There wasn't the usual entertainment that you get at Animator's Palette, but instead it was a pirate themed night. And this was the same across the other 2 restaurants as well. A pirate themed menu brought plenty of Caribbean inspired dishes, and honestly this was our favourite food of the cruise. All the servers were also in their pirate themed outfits, which just made for a great night. Disney Cruise Line are famous for their rotational dining system, whereby you and your server and the rest of your table move restaurants each night to ensure everyone gets to try all the different options. Aside from the benefit of getting to try at each restaurant, this system is great because it allows you to really connect with your servers, and it makes the whole experience feel more personal. They'll remember your name and your drink preferences and will tailor their service to make your experience the best it can be. And a big shout out to our server, Ace. And if your cruise is less than 3 nights, don't worry, you'll still be able to see the third restaurant during breakfast on your final morning. Each night there are 2 dining seatings in these restaurants, at 5:45 and 8 p.m. You'll automatically be assigned a time, but you can put a preference in the app prior to sailing if you'd like a certain time. And if you'd like to eat more flexibly throughout the day, the quick service venues provide a variety of options, ranging from healthy salads and sandwiches to American classics like hot dogs and chicken strips, and even unlimited soft serve ice cream. Given that it's a Disney cruise, all the entertainment centers around Disney.
Wow.
So if you're a Disney lover, this will be a dream, and you'll find it hard to ever go on a different cruise again. If you're not a Disney lover, don't rule yourself out just yet, because the quality of the shows is right up there with the best. What nighttime entertainment you get will depend on how many nights your cruise is. Again, if you're on a 2-night sailing, you will not get to see all the offerings. I'm going to talk about the entertainment we experienced on our cruise, and I can't guarantee that the entertainment on the ship currently is identical. On our 4-night sailing, 3 of the 4 nights had Broadway-style shows, and all 4 nights had some form of entertainment on the top deck. You don't need to book the Broadway-style shows, you'll automatically be assigned a session based on your dining time. For example, if you have the early dining seatings, you'll be assigned to the later show. This is something we really loved about the Disney cruise, as it alleviated a lot of the embarkation day stress of rushing to make reservations the second you were on board. If you decide not to attend your dining session, it's best you still attend your assigned show to ensure that there are enough seats for everyone. On our first night, we saw the Golden Mickeys. The area in front of the Walt Disney Theatre was transformed into a red carpet as we were all invited to the Disney Wonder's very own Hollywood-style award show. The idea behind the Golden Mickeys is to give awards to various different movies for things like most heroic, most romantic, and more. The show consisted of musical performances from some all-time Disney classics. During the 2023 and 2024 sailings, if you were doing a 2-night cruise, this is the Broadway show that wasn't shown. The most popular show we saw was Frozen: A Musical Spectacular, and I have to say, it's appropriately named. It's essentially a shortened version of Frozen the Musical, but the talent on display was amazing, and this is a great one for the whole family. The third and final Broadway-style show on the Disney Wonder was Disney Dreams: An Enchanted Classic, and featured some very special Disney characters and shows. But the entertainment doesn't stop there. On every night of our cruise, there was some form of entertainment on the upper deck, starting with the Sail a Wave Party. Classically, this isn't a nighttime entertainment, however, on our cruise, it was. So if you're on certain sailings out of Sydney like we were, you might experience your Sail a Wave Party at 10:30 p.m. Next is our favourite nighttime show, Marvel Heroes Unite. Unfortunately, I'm not confident that this is a show currently on the Wonder, but please let me know in the comments down below if you know. This show featured the only appearance of some beloved Marvel characters like Ant-Man, the Wasp, Doctor Strange, Iron Man.
Iron Man is officially on deck!
Loki, and many more. So if you or your kids are big Marvel fans, it's a show that you're going to want to get to early. It has stunts, pyrotechnics, and fireworks, and was so much fun. Another show worth keeping the kids up for is Pirate Night. You'll see exclusive appearances from popular Disney pirates Captain Hook and Captain Jack Sparrow, and you'll be able to do meet and greets with various characters in their pirate outfits. You'll also be treated to a Pirates in the Caribbean deck party with the whole gang. Lastly, Disney Ever After was a show on the upper deck on our final night of the cruise. The whole gang was there to dance and celebrate with some epic fireworks. It was the perfect farewell to our cruise. Next, let's talk about optimal cruise length. We felt that 4 nights was the minimum number of nights you need to get the full experience. At the time of publishing this video, Disney Cruise Line operates itineraries leaving from Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne in Australia and Auckland in New Zealand. Itineraries of varying lengths are available, with cruises as few as 2 nights and as long as 10 nights. We think 4 nights is a great introductory cruise length, giving you enough time to experience everything on board, including all the dining and entertainment options, whilst not being too long if it turns out cruising isn't for you. For reference, when we next go on a Disney cruise, we're unlikely to book anything shorter than 4 nights, as we found it hard to do everything despite spending our docking day in Hobart mostly on board the ship. At the end of the day, it all comes down to your personal preference. We had previously been on a 7-night Royal Caribbean cruise, and if you want to see that video, we'll link it up there in the corner, but we struggled to do everything on that one, so 4 nights definitely did feel noticeably shorter. But we still think it's a great cruise length and allows you to experience the majority of what is on offer on the Disney Wonder. Money, money, money. How much you spend on board the ship is discretionary, with there being lots of different purchasable activities and food and beverage options on offer. You should definitely factor tipping into your budget, as the cast members not only deserve it, but they kind of rely on it. It should be automatically charged to your account unless you opt out. If you plan on ordering room service, we'd also recommend bringing some cash to tip your server. When we were on board, everything available to purchase on the ship was actually in US dollars, but you can probably tip in Australian dollars. There are selected dining options you can book for extra cost, such as Paolo's. This is a specialty dining sit-down restaurant, open for its famous brunch as well as dinner. It's extremely popular, so make sure you book it in advance. The Royal Court Tea Party is another specialty experience which allows you to join the Disney princesses for some tea and treats. This is another popular experience that you should book in advance. And the same can be said about the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Whoa, try saying that 3 times really fast. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for children of all genders where they undergo a magical makeover into either a princess of their choosing, a knight, or a sea captain. It seems pretty cute. And as promised for all my Melbourne coffee lovers, you can get barista coffee from Cove Cafe, and you can even customize your phone to your favorite Disney character, which is very fun. Hot tip! If you plan to let your kids do their own thing on the ship, it's best to put a cap on your onboard account so they can't get too tap happy with their stateroom cards. You can do this at the guest services. In terms of activities, we've already talked about the Broadway-style shows and nighttime spectaculars, but there are plenty of characters to meet on the decks too.
I can make a very good peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then Hawkeye taught me how to throw it at the right angle, so when I have Steve and Sam having their arguments, it stops it straight away.
You can also catch a movie at the Buena Vista Theatre, and if you're lucky, there may even be a newly released movie playing. You can swim in the pools, zoom down the slides, relax in the spa. You can let your competitive side out on paper at trivia, or on the courts playing basketball or table tennis. There's also bingo, drawing classes, the list goes on. Trust us, nobody ever gets bored on the Disney Wonder. We highly recommend looking for little Easter eggs throughout the ship. Nothing is accidental and pretty much everything has meaning. Take the carpet on the stateroom deck levels for example. The tip of the star points to the front of the ship. Something else I highly recommend you do is attend the Art of a Theme Show tour. It's filled with fun facts about the Disney Wonder. If you're worried about struggling to meet all the characters, don't stress. In our experience, they were always out and about. We'd recommend preparing for seasickness just in case. Obviously, the roughness of the seas is going to depend on the route you're sailing and the weather. We wore seasickness bracelets and felt pretty fine, but if you do feel sick, the First Aid Centre has plenty of travel sickness medication, so chances are they can help you out. Something we didn't explore a huge amount of because we are childless, not including our dog Ted, were the kids clubs. But if you do have little ones, these clubs seem like a really great option to have a bit of a break and let the kids make some new friends too. And also, the kids clubs are included in the price of your Disney cruise. Ka-ching! So, is the Disney Wonder worth it? As 2 adults, we weren't sure if the experience would be entirely for us, but the ship has such a good mix of kids-focused activities and adult-focused activities that we could always find something to do. If you're wanting a break from the kids on board, there are plenty of adults-only areas and 18+ activities to enjoy. The best part about taking a cruise is being able to tailor the experience to what you like, and enjoying a Disney cruise is no different. If you're interested in booking a cruise, it seems like now is a really great time, as Disney has select sailings that are 30% off. But if those dates don't work for you, another option is to check out the prices of the Disney cruises on Klook and use our code GoForLaunchKlook to get a discount. A lot of people will suggest that Disney cruises are tailored only towards kids, but this is absolutely not true. While there are plenty of activities tailored to kids, there are equally as many adults-only areas and experiences. So I think it's safe to say Disney cruises are for everyone. Don't believe us? Then you should watch our time on the cruise next.